Imagine being a mother, holding your newborn baby, and just days later, finding them lifeless in your arms. One baby dies, then another, and another. For children, for funerals, the world stops pitying you and starts suspecting you. They called her Australia's worst mother. Her name was Kathleen Folbigg, and for 20 years, the world believed she killed her own children. But when science finally spoke, everything changed. Kathleen Folbigg was born in Sydney, 1967, a child of tragedy. Her father murdered her mother when she was just 18 months old. She grew up in foster homes, but tried to build a normal life. She married a quiet man, Craig Folbigg, and dreamed of a happy family. Their first baby, Caleb, was born in 1989. 19 days later, he was gone. Doctors said it was SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, a rare tragedy, but not impossible. Then came Patrick. One night he stopped breathing. He survived barely, but months later, he too passed away. 2 babies gone. Still, Kathleen and Craig refused to give up hope. Their third child, Sarah, was born in 1992. She smiled, she laughed, a symbol of hope. But at 10 months old, she too was found lifeless. By the time Laura was born, people had begun to whisper. Laura lived longer than the others, 18 months. Then, one morning, she was gone as well. For children dead, all within a decade, the odds beyond comprehension. Kathleen's husband found her diary, and inside one line changed everything. "I feel guilty. Maybe I caused it somehow." Craig handed it to police, and grief turned into accusation. In 2003, Kathleen stood trial for the murder of her 4 babies. The prosecution said the odds of 4 natural infant deaths were virtually impossible. They claimed she smothered them, not one, but all 4. There was no physical evidence, no bruises, no fingerprints, just diary entries filled with guilt and grief, but the jury believed it was enough. Kathleen Folbigg was found guilty of 3 murders and manslaughter for her first child. She was given 40 years in prison. Australia called her a monster. Yet, from her cell, she whispered over and over, "I didn't kill my babies. They were sick." 2 decades later, in 2018, scientists at the Australian National University decided to look deeper into the DNA of the Folbigg family. What they found was astonishing. Both daughters, Sarah and Laura, carried a rare genetic mutation, CALM2G114R, a condition known to trigger sudden, fatal heart failure even in healthy infants. Meanwhile, the boys, Caleb and Patrick, had a mutation in the BSN gene, linked to severe epilepsy. In other words, every child had a medical explanation for their deaths. No suffocation, no murder, just tragic biology unknown at the time. By 2023, after years of scientific review, Kathleen Folbigg was officially pardoned and released. And later that year, her convictions were completely overturned. Kathleen Folbigg lost 4 children, and 20 years of her life behind bars. She became a symbol of how grief can be mistaken for guilt, and how science can rewrite justice. Sometimes, the truth comes too late, but when it finally arrives, it changes everything.